You feel it in your chest. The weight of being everyone's emotional caretaker. It's the way you stop yourself from saying what you need. The way you smile even when you feel hollow. The way you say, "I'm fine," when you're not. You carry people's sadness, their anger, their fear, and you do it quietly, without asking for anything in return. It's not just exhaustion, it's a deep, unspoken grief that no one sees. You find yourself saying things like, "I know how you feel," when you don't. You sit with friends as they cry, and you never let them know how hard it is for you to be there. You hold your family together, even when they don't notice. You take the blame, the guilt, the burden. You are the person who always knows how to fix things, even when you're the one who needs fixing. You are the person who makes everyone feel safe. You are the one who stays up when others are asleep, the one who listens when no one else will. You are the one who always says yes, even when your heart is screaming no. You are the one who carries the emotional weight of others, and you do it because you think that's what you're supposed to do, even when it hurts. This happens because you were taught that your worth is tied to how much you give. You grew up in a home where emotions were not spoken about, or vulnerability was a weakness. You learned early on that to be seen, you had to be useful. You became the one who kept things together, the one who made sure no one else felt alone. And now, that pattern follows you, even when it doesn't serve you. It's not just about the past. It's about the way you see yourself. You believe that being a caretaker is a sign of strength, that being emotional is a weakness. You think that if you show your own pain, you will be a burden. You believe that your feelings don't matter as much as the feelings of others, and so you stay silent, even when it's killing you inside. This pattern also comes from the way you see your own identity. You have no clear sense of who you are when you're not being someone else. You are not defined by your own needs, your own desires, your own dreams. You are defined by how well you can support others. And when you stop being that support, you feel like you've lost who you are. There is also the shadow, the part of you that feels unseen, unloved, unworthy. That part of you that believes you are only valuable when you are taking care of others. It's not your fault that you feel like this. It's the result of a lifetime of messages that told you your feelings don't matter. But it is possible to begin to shift that pattern, even if it feels impossible now. You are not broken because you carry others' pain. You are human. That is not a flaw. That is a sign that you are deeply connected, deeply empathetic, deeply capable of love. But love is not a one-way street. You deserve to be held just like the people you hold. You deserve to be seen just like they are seen. And you deserve to be met with compassion, not only for them, but for you. This is where the reframe begins. You are not broken. You are someone who has been carrying a lot. You are someone who has been doing the work of others, even when it was not asked of you. You are someone who has been trying to make the world a little kinder, even when it cost you. And that is not a weakness. That is a strength, even if it feels like a burden. What you have been doing is not a flaw, it is a call to healing. You are being asked to stop carrying the weight of others and to begin carrying the weight of your own needs. This is not selfish, it is essential. It is not a betrayal, it is a gift to yourself. And it is not something you have to do alone. You are not alone in this. You are not broken because you have been the caretaker. You are just beginning to see that you are also worthy of being cared for. This is where the real healing begins, in the quiet spaces between the noise. When you stop doing everything for everyone, you make space for your own voice. You make space for your own needs. You make space for your own grief, your own anger, your own joy. And in that space, you begin to see that you are not defined by your caretaking. You are defined by your willingness to take care of yourself. You begin to realize that you are not the only one who has been carrying the weight. Others have been doing the same. You begin to see that you are not responsible for everyone's happiness. You are not the only one who needs help. You are not the only one who is tired. And that is not a failure. It is a truth. It is not weakness. It is wisdom. This is not about leaving people. It is about learning how to be with them without being consumed. It is about setting boundaries not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. It is about knowing that you can be there for others and still take care of yourself. And that is not a contradiction. It is a balance that you can learn to live in. You begin to see that you are not defined by what you do for others, but by who you are when no one is watching. You are not defined by your caretaking. You are defined by your courage to take care of yourself. You are not defined by your ability to hold others together. You are defined by your ability to hold yourself together. And that is not a weakness. That is a kind of strength that only you can offer. What you need to do is not to change who you are. It is to change how you see yourself. Start by noticing the spaces where you feel exhausted, where you feel unseen, where you feel like you are not enough. Begin by saying, I need something instead of, I have to give something. Begin by allowing yourself to feel what you have been ignoring. Begin by giving yourself the same compassion you give to others. You do not have to be perfect at this. You do not have to be flawless at setting boundaries, at saying no, at taking care of yourself. You only have to begin. You only have to take one small step. And that is enough, because you are not asking for perfection, you are asking for permission. You are asking for permission to take up space, to feel your feelings, to be seen, not just by others, but by yourself. That is not weakness. That is maturity. That is not failure. That is growth. That is not something you have to do alone. It is something you can do with others. And that is not a sign that you are not a caretaker. It is a sign that you are learning how to take care of yourself. And that is not a betrayal. It is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for those who love you. That is not a sign that you are not a caretaker. It is a sign that you are learning how to take care of yourself. And that is not a betrayal. It is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for those who love you. That is not a failure. That is a step toward healing. That is not a weakness. That is the kind of strength that only you can offer. You are not defined by the weight you carry. You are defined by the courage you have to let it go. And when you do, you may feel lighter than you ever have before. That is not a loss. That is a gain. That is not a failure. That is a step toward a life that feels more like yours. So, what if you began today with the question, what would I do if I were not afraid to take care of myself? What if you allowed yourself to feel what you have been ignoring? What if you gave yourself the same compassion you give to others? What if you started to believe that you are not only worthy of being cared for, but that you are also capable of caring for yourself, just as deeply as you care for others?